Hi, I'm Luke from Disciplined Trader, and in this video I want to discuss the factors that will help you decide how much you should risk per trade. In the last video, we looked at the factors that help determine how much money you may make from your trading. One of those factors was your risk appetite. In other words, how much of your account you are willing to risk on one particular trade. If you haven't seen that video yet, I will leave a link for it in the description below. So in this video, I want to carry on with this topic and try and help you decide how much of your account you should risk per trade. As stated in the disclaimer at the start of this video, this is only my opinion. This does not constitute investment advice and is for educational purposes only. The first thing you need to decide is how much you actually feel comfortable losing in one trade. What I mean is that you should decide an amount that you could lose on one trade and not be mentally affected by the result in such a way that it causes you to lose your discipline. You should be able to continue to objectively assess the market for further opportunities without falling into the trap of emotional trading. Let's look at an example. If you're trading with a £5,000 account and you lose £1,000 on one trade, that's likely to affect you mentally. Then you start thinking, that's 20% of my account gone. I've got to make that back, and quickly. Then you might start deviating from your trading plan and force trades that don't meet your strategy criteria because you want to make the loss back, when in actual fact you just end up with further losses. Obviously that's not something you want to be doing, so putting rules in place to stop you getting to that point can be a huge help. You may decide that £100 or £200 of your £5,000 account is an acceptable loss per trade, and if that was to happen, you would still be able to identify correct setups and implement your trading plan properly. Fantastic. You now have rules in place that will stop you becoming an emotional trader and allow you to analyse the market objectively. The next thing to consider is the win rate of your strategy. Different strategies have different win rates and different risk to reward profiles. One strategy may have a low win rate but a high risk to reward ratio, whereas another can have a high win rate and a lower risk to reward ratio, and both can be profitable. The reason for analysing this is it is good to know how probable a losing streak can be. And again, you need to be mentally comfortable with this, so it plays an important role in determining how much you risk per trade. Let's look at an example. Let's say we have an account of £5,000. Our strategy has a win rate of 50% and a risk to reward profile of 2 to 1. We know the strategy is profitable, as on average, in every 2 trades, one is a winner and one is a loser. When it loses 1, and when it wins, it makes 2. That means, on average, after every 2 trades, the strategy returns 1 profit, 1 being equal to whatever lot size or pound per point value you are trading at. However, the distribution of winning trades and losing trades is never as simple as win-lose, win-lose, win-lose. If it were, dealing with the psychology of trading would be a much easier task. No, the distribution of winning trades and losing trades is completely random and unknown, although in the long run will equate to a 50% win rate. That's what's important to remember. A major mistake I used to make was throwing away good strategies simply because they went through a short-term losing period. I'd lose all confidence in the strategy before benefiting from the long-term profits. If you have backtested a strategy over a good sample size and know the probabilities of short-term losing streaks, this should give you the mental confidence to achieve the results the strategy is capable of, if implemented correctly. So, it's good to know how likely a losing streak could be. Let's look at how to work this out. First, we work out the probability that a trade loses. So we do 1 minus 0.5, which is the win rate, and that equals 0.5. So the probability of a losing trade on any given trade with this strategy is 50%. I'm sure you've already recognised that, but that's how you work it out. Now we know the probability of a loss on any given trade, we can calculate how likely 2 losing trades in a row is. We simply multiply the chance of the first trade losing by the chance of the next trade losing. So it will be 0.5 times 0.5 equals 0.25. So this strategy has a 25% chance of having 2 losing trades in a row. Now we can take it a step further and calculate the chance of 3, 4, 5 and 6 losing trades in a row. As we can see, the probability of 3 losing trades is 12.5%, 4 losing trades in a row is 6.25%, 5 losing trades in a row is 3.125%, and 6 losing trades in a row is 1.5625%. Now a 1.5625% chance of something happening is pretty low, but it can still happen, and now you can prepare yourself for it. You can ask yourself the question, if I suffer 6 losing trades in a row, how much can I lose and still keep my discipline? If you were risking 10% per trade, then after 6 losing trades you would be down 60%. Now even if you could cope with that from an emotional point of view, that's going to be really difficult to trade back from. You may decide that you don't want to have a drawdown bigger than say 10% on any losing streak, which would mean that 2% risk on each trade would be slightly too much in this case, as that would equal a 12% drawdown on a 6 trade losing streak. But 1.5 or 1% risk would be okay, as this would result in a 9% or a 6% drawdown only, enabling you to keep your composure and discipline in order to trade through the short-term losing streak. Knowing this information then mentally prepares you for when you take a few losses in a row. You're no longer worried or questioning your strategy because you know in actual fact the likelihood of having a losing streak is fairly probable, and you simply need to maintain your discipline and trade through it to reap the rewards your strategy has to offer. Now you may be thinking here, what if I have a losing streak bigger than 6 trades in a row? I could still lose more than the 10% maximum I've set even if I risk 1% per trade. And you would be correct. But we already know that 6 losing trades in a row has a 1.5625% chance of happening, so any losing streak longer than this has an even lower chance of happening. Personally, my mentality towards this is even if I hit a losing streak longer than the number that I've set, then I have just simply been very unlucky, as I already know how unlikely it was to happen. It may prompt me to check that I've been following my trading rules on the streak of losing trades that I've had, but I would simply put it down to luck of the draw. As we said earlier, the distribution of winning trades and losing trades is completely random. Now this may be a slightly simplistic view of how your trading may pan out. This may be because you trade multiple strategies or take day trades as well as swing trades, and the win rates of all these different strategies and approaches may vary. However, if you view the different strategies in isolation, then you can work out the probability of losing streaks for each individual strategy, and knowing the probabilities behind your strategies enables you to stay objective in your approach to the markets and helps prevent any emotional trading taking over. Your number one goal, in my opinion as a trader, should be the preservation of your capital, and that's why deciding how much you risk per trade is such an important decision, and a personal decision too. You need to consider the actual technical information about your strategy and approach, and make sure the amount you decide to risk doesn't put your account in danger of being wiped out by a streak of losing trades. And you need to consider how you will deal with a loss or losses for whatever amount you decide to risk. If you think it will hinder you mentally, then risk a smaller amount and build up to that larger risk slowly if you feel you need to. So that finishes off the topic nicely. In my next video I will show you how to calculate the potential returns for your own strategy, whatever that may be. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you did and you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also visit the Disciplined Trader blog, where I write various trading related articles to help with traders of all levels. You can also keep up to date with me by following the Disciplined Trader Facebook and Twitter pages. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a good trading day.